Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, whatever. Buenos dias, buenos tardes, buenos noches. Welcome to my channel. It's the Millennial Investor 1914. Holla at your boy. Coming back with you with the series of how to retire on a certain amount of money. The amount of money I chose was $250,000. Now, you must know, even with myself, I'm on my journey to invest my money to uh, get to these depths of 250, 500. Currently, right now, I'm at $150,000 in total assets. So my assets is growing, and I'm adding to my assets, and I'm investing. So I walk it like I talk it. For this series, I chose two stocks to be able to help you to gain the wealth. So first, in order for you to live off of the $250,000, you got to make the $250,000, and this is where this compound interest calculator comes in handy, right? The inputs I have is that let's say that you start at year 25, or uh, more better yet, you start at year 30 years old. I like starting at year 30 years old because I had with the college. Usually between 25 and 30, you're really trying to find yourself, right? You are an electrician, you are a journeyman, you are working the trades, you are probably entry level accounting, entry level engineering, entry level HR like myself. So you're probably not really making that much money, or just making the beginning band of your compensation. But usually when you hit about 30, you've got yourself in the groove where you're ready to start a family, or now you want to take the next steps of, if you haven't been starting to contribute to your 401k invest, now you are getting serious, right? And so that's why $5,000 is a good amount to start with. And then I chose $850 because $850,000, no, $850 times 12 is roughly $10,000 per year. But I want to do that real quick. Yeah, yeah. So usually in these illustrations, when you watch the videos, they always say, "Hey, with an initial investment of $10,000, blah blah blah." In this example, you start with $5,000. I know you can come up with $5,000 because a lot of times people, they get bonuses, they do ride share like Grubhub, Uber, DoorDash, so you can get it that way. And then also your taxes. People get a lot of taxes, but I know a lot of times we blow our taxes on ourselves, shoes, cars, Apple watches, Apple iPads, Meta glasses, trips, so on and so on. So if you took a portion of uh, your taxes, and then maybe your bonus money, and then your ride share money, and then your hustle money, you'll have the $5,000. Then you can contribute $850 per month. So split that up: $425 either per check, or $850 in one swoop. Or you could do it where you split $850 per day. You do it that way, or you split the $850 on a weekly basis. No matter how you do it, you just gotta do it, right? You're gonna do it for 30 years, and you're gonna have a estimated interest rate, annual rate of return of 16.5. How you're gonna get that? You're going to be invested into QQQ, or basically you're gonna be investing into the Nasdaq. You're gonna be investing into QQQM, and then you're gonna be investing into VGT. So with the $850 per month, you're gonna put $425 into VGT per month, $425 into QQQM per month. You're gonna invest in those two items. Uh, I put for 30 years, but for the most part, you're going to be investing for the next. Just you're gonna hunker down from age 30 to about 40, 41, 42 years old. Now where the exciting part comes in at. Here's where, if you want to retire at 42 years old, you can, or you can coast fire, or you can greedy fire, or all those other fire, meaning that you've already accumulated the amount of money that you need to retire, and so you can either pick and choose another job that's an easy job and you can coast, or you can decide to quit your job and go to Costa Rica, live in Costa Rica, the Philippines, Portugal, or you can just continue to work and just continue to stack your cash and then have your 250,000 go to 500,000, 750,000. It's really up to what you want to do, right? So I said year 10, that's when you become 40 years old. But if you wait 1 year later, you have $296,000. Here's where the math comes in at now. Now you have your 250,000. If you wait 1 year, you have 296,000. I'm gonna put the 296,000 right here. Just make sure you guys just pay attention to that later, right? Cool. We'll highlight that. Highlight that, and then I'm gonna color it. All right. So the three funds that you guys are going to invest into is YieldMax Misty, which is $15.50. YieldMax OT, which pays on a weekly basis. Misty pays on a monthly basis. ULTY pays on a weekly basis, and then QQQI pays on a monthly basis. Right. With that, what you see is that of the $250,000, you're gonna break it into 125,000. Of that 125,000, you're gonna put 29,000 into Misty that pays monthly, 22,500 into OT, which pays weekly. So with this 22,000 divided by this, which pays that, you get a weekly dollar amount of $400. $400 times 4, which I did that, equals $1,626. So it depends on what you do. I did it while I converted into a monthly amount. This is how much you get paid monthly. Or if you want to see how much you get paid on a weekly basis, all you got to do is just delete the times 4, right? And then QQI is going to pay you roughly $850 to $878 on a monthly basis. The reason why I didn't put all into just Misty, all into ULTY or just D2 is because QQQI is the most stable, um, it's the most stable cover call of all the three. These two would tend to have NAV erosion, so the money that you put in would tend to erode over time. So that's why a lot of times what people tend to do is that when they have Misty and ULTY, and they will have some of the payment going back into itself. So basically, they would probably do like $300 reinvest it back to ULTY, another 300 or so reinvest it back to Misty, so that it can continue to buy more shares because of the NAV erosion. But QQQI really doesn't have a NAV erosion like that, and so you can pretty much count on the $878 being $870 per month. For ULTY and Misty, depending on the volatility, just be honest. It could be sometimes it could be $2,000. Sometimes it probably could be 1950. It could be sometimes it could be 2,100. It just depends on the market. If the market's going down, going up. That's why I wanted a little bit more of the payment in QQI. But for the most part, the way I was able to break it down, get 4,400 and $4,543 on a per monthly basis. Then you have the other $25,000 in the money market, and then what you do is that you put the other 100,000, because remember it's 250,000. You put the other 100,000 and $50,000 into QQQ, 50,000 into vote. You want your money to continue to grow, continue to grow. You want your assets to continue to grow, right? This is just cash flow. This is it's cash flow, but you want the rate of return, your total net worth to continue to grow. And with that, that's gonna grow. 3, 4, 5 years. In his money market account, you're gonna have 25,000 in his money market account for you to use for accidentals, right? So that's why I broke that $25,000 into $8,500 right here, $8,500 right here, 8,000 right here. So with that, guess what? This case, what um, depending on because with this comes out to uh 45,000. So depending on what's the income rate for that, depending on the tax bracket you'll be in, right? Um, so this 8,500 is going to be just if you need to dip into this to pay for your taxes, if you need to dip into this for a little bit, you want to travel a little bit, that's what this 8,500. If you don't need to use 8,500, you save it so that when you go into year two, instead of 8,500, you'll have what $17,000 saved to play with, and then guess what? For year three, you have $8,000 to play with, and what happens is that after uh after going through that money, you you still have that 100,000, right? And just say for 10 years, that 100,000, 14%, that 100,000 that you've been having grow, if you just didn't touch it for 3 to 4 years, is would have grown from 140 to about probably $168,000. Then what you do is that by year, because then would have grown to 168,000. You take out that $68,000, or just say $60,000. You take that $60,000 and you continue to have that $100,000 in those two funds growing, and then next what you do is boom. Now instead of 8,500, you have 60,000. Then now you really can uh make it work, because then now you can do $10,000, $10,000. Boom. Then guess what? Year four, year five. And remember, that was $60,000. That's one, two, three, four, five. Now, what you do is that you can do two ways. You got $60,000. You got $60,000 here growing. You can just you could what you can do is that you can break it down so that you can just do 50,000 here and split up 10,000 per year, and then the other 10,000, what you can do is that you can give yourself a raise, and so you be like, you know what, I want to, do a little bit more. I want to do add 5,000 here, so let's put this at 34,000, and then I'm gonna add the other 4,000, the other 5,000 here, which will put it down at 27,500. Now, boom. Now you just gave yourself a raise. Now you gave yourself a raise, as in instead of you you paying yourself 4,500. Now you're making $5,256 per month, right? And then you got $50,000 in your money market account, just accumulating through interest, and then you can split that up between the 5 years so that you can tap into that $10,000 a just as to piggyback on, just in case if you need, again, pay for taxes, if you want to take a vacation or two, because again, at this point, you're making $5,256. This you're gonna be using to live off of. Pretty sure you probably live off much less, meaning that pretty much, hopefully your expenses is a lot less, meaning that hopefully your expenses is roughly 2,500 to $3,000 per month. So if your expenses are only $2,500, $3,000 per month, you are pretty much netting $2,000. So that's how you break it down, and you're able to live off of $250,000. And guess what? That was $250,000. If you waited 1 year at the 20, the 296,000, you would be able. I honestly be able to live out your dreams a lot quicker because um so that right there is 285, meaning that if you add a little bit more, all these calculations, you'll be able to live off of initially, right? You won't have to build up to it. So basically, you can just probably at 285, add another quick thousand right there. Boom. So probably another 10,000, but you catch my drift. I mean, now you're able to really, yeah. Now you really get into um you can soon to be able to live off of $6,000. I want to do it now. See, that's only 200. That's only 290,000, and you are living off of close to 5,500. Sweet, right? So this how if you wait, if you leave at year 10, then you'll be able to live close to 4,500. If you wait one more year at year 11, which if you start at 30 years old, you'll be around 41 years old. You can be able to live off of close to 50,000. You can live off of close to $5,500 per month with roughly $50,000 in your money market account, where you can live off $10,000 per year in emergencies, just in case you need it, and then an extra $100,000 in your portfolio growing in QQQM and VU, which is the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. So make sure you like and subscribe my channel if you got enough if you got enough feedback and enough information from this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you holler at your boy. Peace.